Good evening, ladies and gents, and welcome to another Kuwait pilot stream. It is 1700 Zulu, 2000 hours local time here in Kuwait City. Want to welcome all of you guys here in chat today. We have with us Rand calling my dear friend Dougal McTavish. Welcome, my friend. Glad to have you with us this evening, and thank you very much for the support, guys, moderating the chat. Mr. CA 2027, welcome aboard. Glad to have you with us. Mr. Renat, thank you very much for your support as a captain here on the channel. Canadian Bacon, welcome aboard. Hello, Stan, welcome. We have also with us Goal. You've been a regular Goal. Thank you very much for the support, my friend. Hello, Flyby, Boeing Corp Mike from Logan, New Jersey. Welcome aboard. Altitude X, welcome. Glad to have you with us. Beligstel, is it? Welcome aboard. Abby Bubla, welcome aboard. Glad to have you. Hello, Anthony. Welcome aboard. Craig, Doug, Brody, welcome aboard. Thank you very much for your support from Montana in the United States. We've got Noor from Jordan. Welcome aboard. First time I see you on stream. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you with us. Hello there, Callum. Welcome, John, the Flying Scotsman. Welcome aboard. Follow content creator. Welcome, welcome, guys. Glad to have you here. And I never actually thought you guys were X-Plane fanatics to this point when I ran the poll, and I was expecting a lot more votes for the PMDG 777 being an aircraft that was just released for Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. But no, the Q8 pilot fans wanted the freeware Sparky 747. Now, this aircraft, I've done one stream of this aircraft a very long time ago, but much to my surprise, the Sparky 747 has received a major overhaul on the 27th of April. And this update makes the aircraft compatible with the latest version of X-Plane 12.2 with a host of improvements and fixes, making the aircraft, in my opinion, one of the very best freeware available for flight sim. Of course, it is not a study level aircraft by any stretch of the imagination, but it is an effort that is totally commendable by the developers. And I want to say a big, big thank you to everyone who's participated in the Sparky project, all the developers, and anyone who has contributed in any way, shape, or form to making this 747 available for us here, the X-Plane community, absolutely free of charge. So, we are today at Charles de Gaulle Airport, and here's a quick brief of our flight. Today we are going to be departing Charles de Gaulle, runway 27 left. We're going to be cruising at 33,000 feet, heading over to Munich in Germany, arriving runway 26 left, performing an ILS approach through the Roki 1 Bravo arrival. It should be about an hour flight, and it should be lots of fun with lots of bad weather along the way. At least our departure airport, the weather was dreadful here at Charles de Gaulle, but things should subside as we arrive into Germany, into Munich, Germany. So here is our flight plan, and let's hop into. Let me show you the aircraft first. Let's let this load here, and yeah. All right, so there we go. We have our flight plan. Let's take a quick look here. Now, this aircraft is based on the default Laminar 747. If you recall, the 747 by Laminar was the flagship aircraft for X-Plane 10 until, of course, the A330 came to take its place later on in later versions of X-Plane. Needless to say that the work, the artwork that they've done on the aircraft to bring it to this level is really commendable, and it is actually from the modeling perspective and the sounds perspective, I think this aircraft competes with some of the payware available today for flight sim. So without further ado, folks, let's hop into the cockpit and let me show you around. You can see again the exterior model is very nice, very authentic, and it looks like the Queen of the Skies without a doubt. So Hopping into the cockpit here, as you can see, major rework of the textures, making this really look like the 747-400 with lots and lots of details to give it an older look. As you can see here at the wear and tear on the panel work, some very, very nice details in the cockpit here, as you can see. Now, of course,
Hello,
the textures...
Captain. Happy Saturday.
Hey, Benny, welcome aboard. Glad to have you here with us this evening. And thank you very much for 41 months of support. I really, really appreciate it, my friend. Thank you very much, Benny. So if you look here at the textures, they're not high res everywhere, but needless to say that the overall look and feel of the aircraft looks so good. You can see again the details here, the wear and tear, and look at this really nice looking overhead panel with all the details there, giving the aircraft again a very used and older look. Very, very nice. I really love the details there. Very nice texturing of the aircraft. So overall, I think the guys over at Sparky has done really a good job with the modeling. Now, the aircraft does come with a passenger cabin. It's not exactly, high, the best of passenger cabins, but it's got one. And, considering that this is, a freeware based on the laminar 747, it's not bad. It's not bad for a freeware aircraft. Again, no complaints in this department. And of course, I care most about the cockpit than anything else, and it is looking just phenomenal. Again, for freeware, it looks really good. Is this new? It is the updated version of the Sparky 747. So let's go ahead and get things started here for our flight. So first we're going to turn the battery switch on and close the guard. And next we're going to go to standby power to auto. Utility switches can go on. And you can hear again, the F-mod sounds are great on this aircraft. Let's turn on the APU. So APU starting. And let's come over here, turn on the bus ties, gens, and we're just going to turn these switches on. There we go. And of course, we're flying in kilograms today, so let me turn these on. And there we go. Next, the dampers, we'll turn those on. Let's perform the overheat test, which works just fine. And then we'll put the equipment cooling on norm. We'll put the packs on norm. Isolation valves, APU gen, and we'll turn the rest of it. All right, we'll wait for the APU generators to become available. One thing we need to do is we need to come to the aircraft here, and we need to say customize weight and balance. We want metric units. And we're going to take a quick look here at the 20,000. So we'll put 22,000. So we'll put 22,000 kilos of fuel. We're going to say OK and apply the changes. All right, perfect. Let's cancel the master caution here. We'll wait for the APU gens. And you can control a lot of things from within the FMC here. So first, let me show you. In ground handling, there are a lot of things that you can do with the ground handling. If you go to ground services, for example, you can add the fuel. Excuse me. All right. So you can request ground services here. You can add, you can get the ground power. You can add fuel. And you can also add your passengers and cargo, which we're going to do. So we're going to just grab the total payload for the flight here, which is 39.9 and 39.9. And we're going to add that there. That approximates this to 40. And it automatically puts in the passengers and the cargo. We can put the cargo there. As well, cargo is 9.4. I think it does not allow you to put the cargo, but let's try this here. Yeah, it just puts 9. All right. So, all right. Well, we'll just leave it the way it is here. We have the correct payload, so that's fine. All right. So next up, we are going to go to the menu, and we can go to the aircraft config. Now, there are a lot of things you can do with the config here, including the units, the alignment time, fuel management, the baro indicators. You can also put the standard passenger weight to match SimBrief if that's something that you want to do, you know, for accuracy. And then we can come down here to... Hello, Alex. Welcome aboard. Again, you can toggle the spill lights, the cockpit seats, the ACARS. All of that is available for you here. Enable pause at top of descent, something I never use and probably will never use. And then the config of the actual aircraft. So you can set this to a passenger aircraft, a freighter. You can change the engine types. Obviously, we are Air France today, so this is the livery that we've selected. And then you can also, you've got your GPWS callouts, your volume. Volume is obviously is in up. And then you've got general as well here. So you got the first officer callouts are on. You can turn those on or off. So considering that this is a freeware aircraft, it's got a lot of options. So really, really good work by Sparky. Okay, so let's take a look here. Do we have the APU gens yet? No, we don't. Let's turn these on. All right, so we still don't have the... All right, we can connect the ground power unit here. So if we go to the menu and ground power, let's see here, ground services. All right, so now we have ground power, at least. All right, so we've got that available here and here. And let's figure out why the APU hasn't started yet. So we'll say start, and we'll just wait for the APU. All right, so we have electrical power now to the aircraft, and we can start setting things up. Perfect. I remember installing this Sparky years ago. Last it became any better? Yes, I think I remember it was not that great. Well, it has changed, and it is much better now. So it has received a major update. All right, so we are currently at LFPG, or Charles de Gaulle. And we're going to select the position here. And next we're going to go to the routes page. The origin airport, again, LFPG. All right, and the destination is Echo Delta Delta Mike. You can't put the flight number, so that's fine. We're going to go to the departure, and we're going to bring up SimBrief flight plan. Let's see, we have the... All right, so we have SimBrief flight plan here. Let's see. All right. Okay, so we are departing runway 27 left, 27 left, through the Land 6 departure. Land 6 Delta. All right, excellent. And then we're going to go to the RTE page. We're going to go to the next page. And let's take a quick look here at... all right, so from Land V direct to Lupin. So Lupin... let's see, Lupin. And then from Lupin, we're going to take Tango 107. 107 to... 107 to Rokill. Rokill. And then from Rokill, it's the our destination airport. All right, so let's go back to the arrival, and we're going to select the ILS runway 26 left. Okay, ILS 26 left, and it is going to be the Rookie 18 Bravo. And let's see if there are any transitions. Okay, so 26 left. We're going to go to the approach here, and 26 left. All right, and if we look here, We have, let me go to the next page. We do have the OTT transition. So let's take that one. And we'll say execute. Next page. Next page. Next page. It looks like we have to select this one here for the disco. And next. All right. So everything here is good. Let's take a look here and see if the APU generator is on. So let's turn on the APU. Again, notice the sounds once the bleeds are on. You notice, again, the sounds are really, really good. The F-mod sounds are really, really nice on this aircraft. Again, considering it's a freeware aircraft, the sounds are really, really good. They've done a really good job. Ali Al-Ghadir, welcome aboard. Good evening to you. Travel Videos Turkey, welcome. Glad to have you here with us. And we have also... I hope they fixed the VNAV descent logic. They prioritized the VNAV descent settings over the constraints in the Lex page. Curious to see how, if this is corrected. Well, we're going to take a look today. Hello there, Pascal. Welcome aboard. Live weather option. Yes, we are in live weather. Oh, is it cloud and visibility okay conditions? Well, looks like it is in live weather, so let me just verify this here. Yeah, real weather download. It's showing large cell thunderstorms for some reason. All right, now that we're done with the flight plan, we can go to perf. Now with perf, you can just click here. It will automatically update the zero fuel. We're going to read need the reserves from the flight plan. So reserves 4 and 3 is 7. So 7,000 kilos of fuel. The cost index is 159. Ooh, fuel burn is massive. And the cruise altitude, we'll put 33,000 feet. 330. Unable at Rokel, that's okay. And then we're going to go to thrust limit. We're going to leave everything here the same. Let's go to the takeoff page, flaps 10 for departure. And flaps 10, we have our speed set, and we just need to trim. And the trim is 4 units exactly. So let's set the units here. We're going to set the trim. I have a keyboard button mapped to the trim. So we're going to set this to 4 units for the stab trim. And 4 units is now set. Okay, perfect. We have 4 minutes until alignment. And we are done with the FMC here. So we're going to come here to the FMC. We'll leave this one on VNAV, climb. And we can now set up the glare shield. Perfect. All right. So far, so good. What was our speed? You guys, look. All right, let me just go back here real quick. FMC, I want the init perf, we want takeoff, right, 148. All right, 148 is set. The cruise altitude is 33,000 feet, so we're going to set that. Right, 33,000 is now set. We're going to come down here and we're going to turn on the non-smoking and fasten seatbelt signs on. We'll leave this on auto, that's fine. And now you can hear the passenger announcement. Look at those. You can hear also the background music there in the cabin. Again, very, very nice, considering, you know, this is all freeware, and it's just really a collaborative effort from the community to develop this aircraft. Very, very nice. And by the way, the toga buttons work, which is pretty cool. All right, we're going to come here, and we are going to set our transponder to 2,000. All right, 2,000 is set, and auto brake to rejected takeoff. Everything else here, flight directors, we'll turn those on. 2 minutes until alignment, we'll be ready to go. And let's take a look now at the overhead panel, make sure everything is good. we can now disconnect the ground power unit. So we'll do that in a second. And let's see here. Zone test. We need the trim air. Right, all of that is good. Everything here is good. All right, perfect. So everything is set now, and we need our altimeter. So let's go to the weather, and the altimeter is 1010. All right, perfect. Let's set that to 10. Oop, that's not what I wanted to do. All right, 1010. All right, 1010 is set, and we're going to do the same here. And 1010 is set. Perfect. That almost reminded me of the of a cartoon when I was little, Tintin. When I said 1010, I just remember that. Good afternoon, Mr. Redneck. Welcome aboard. Hello there, Omer Cohen. Welcome aboard. Never managed to get this to work with the autopilot. Also a bug with the thrust. What am I doing wrong? All right, so I'm going to give you some tips here today, some things that I've personally noticed, but we're going to take care of that today in our flight. I'll tell you guys what to do. So far, I haven't really had any major issues with this aircraft in its latest form. After the latest update for X-Plane 12.2, it actually flies very, very well. So yeah, so I'll give you some of the tips. Yeah, some of the issues that I've encountered. Looks like we have alignment now. We're going to put data here. I don't think these work, but anyway, that's fine. All right, APU's running. Everything's good here. We have alignment. And let's take a quick look here. All right, so that's the plan. Yeah, we definitely have the alignment now. So we'll put this here, and we'll put this on 10 nautical miles for our departure. Everything is good to go, and we're going to go now to the menu. We need to go to the menu and remove the ground power unit. So let's go to ground, and we're going to say ground services. So disconnect the ground power, then go to ground handling. We're going to remove the chocks. Again, very, very nice. Ground handling here within the menu. That's pretty cool. And then we'll go back to the FMC, put this here, and we're going to come and turn on the beacon lights. We're going to turn both beacon lights. And immediately, you'll hear the passenger announcement.
All tray tables should be stowed.
And we can see that the jetways are moving away from the aircraft in preparation for push and start. Very, very cool. All right, so let's bring up the pushback truck.
Run to cockpit. Please show me where you want to go.
All right, I'm not sure where I want to go, so so let's first take a look here at the airport chart. Again, another reason why one would want, you know, the let's see, taxi, airport. All right, let's take a look here. That's not what we wanted. Let's go down here, airport. All right, so this is 27 left is our departure airport. So we are, where are we? We are here, so yeah, that's fine. I think whatever we have here is fine.
Run to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
Right, still passenger announcements are going on in the background.
Fastened your tray table stowed. To fasten your seatbelt.
Very nice texturing on the aircraft. Right, pushback truck on its way. And we can turn on, by the way, LNAV and VNAV on the 747. Overall, works pretty well. I remember even the activation of the previous version of the aircraft was a bit of a problem, but not anymore.
All doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
All right, ready to connect. Perfect. What a majestic looking aircraft. Just absolutely beautiful. I really like the Air France livery on the 747. Right, aircraft being connected. Very, very nice. This scenery, by the way, of Charles de Gaulle is that of Thai models. Very, very nice scenery. Highly recommend it.
Now connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
All right.
Starting pushback and you may start engines.
All right, and we have clearance to start the engines, ladies and gents. We are going to turn the packs off, and we're going to start with engine number 4. All right. Of course, this aircraft is fully compatible with terrain radar, and so we get the weather and all of that good stuff on the displays here. And let's see here. All right, we can go ahead and start engine number 4. Again, very, very nice F-mod sounds. There's the beautiful engine sounds for you as well. You've got the rain effect working as well. So that's pretty cool. You can see the weather here, which is pretty bad. All right, let's see. All right, engine number 1 coming on. Have you seen the new X-Plane 12.2 dual default gateway integration? Marco, he has... Hello, Manus756. Welcome aboard. Hasso Basso, welcome. I don't know where you are heading to, but I hope it's a long haul to Hong Kong. Yes, correct, Stan. Big improvements overall with this aircraft. I think everything has been really redone. It's a major overhaul, really. All right, let's start engine number 1. There we go. And engine number 1 is coming on right now. Overall, I'm very happy with this aircraft. Right, and we're going to start 2 and 3 together.
Operation complete. Set parking brake. Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
All right, and we're disconnecting the tow. And wow, the weather looks dreadful, doesn't it? All right, and we can start 2 and 3. Disconnect. Let's turn on the panel lights here for better visibility. And maybe we'll come over here and turn on the panel lights there as well. There you go. Much better. Very nice lighting. Look at that, guys. I mean, for a freeware aircraft, this looks really good. All right, thank you for your service. All right, and let's see. Let's set our flaps for flaps at 10 for departure. Right, flaps 10. no, you can't hear the flap sound, but it looks really good. With the 747 has probably the nicest wing view when the flaps are down. When they're fully down, it looks really, really good. All right, everything is set. We are going to come here and turn off the APU. So we're going to turn on the packs to normal. APU we don't need anymore. We're going to turn off the APU here, so the generators are also off. I don't think this is correct, though. I think the generator remains on, but anyway, we're good here. Window heat is on. And everything else is good. We don't need the high flow, so everything here is good. Our fuel pumps are configured correctly. We are going to turn on the taxi lights on, and we are good to go. So let's release the parking brake. Let's just double check here that we are, yes, facing 27 left. Perfect. Right, parking brake is released, and off we go. What a beautiful looking aircraft. No. No, we'll just stay on this taxiway here till the end. Oof, we went right through that Airbus. What do you guys think? I mean, for freeware, can you believe it? It looks just phenomenal. And so far, we've started the aircraft, we've configured everything with 0 issues. So it works. It's not, again, this is not a study level simulation, guys, of the 747, but it is a very enjoyable experience. And by the way, there is a real world pilot who's made a stream on this aircraft, and he, according to him, the physics of this aircraft is very spot on. So, right, where are we right now? All right, so this is 27 left. We're not too far from 27 left. Let's take a quick look here at the outside. And that is 27 left, so we'll make the turns somewhere right over there. Right, look at those flaps. Wow. It's looking really, really good, I have to say. All right, well, we're going to take that turn over here. There we go. Now, a couple of things, guys, for the landing gear. Even if you have your landing gear set up on your joystick or your flight control, it may not work because this landing gear requires you to pull it out and then move it up. So it might not work as it should. As your even if you have it configured in your flight control, it may or may not. For me, it didn't work, so you have to manually do it. So we are here at the hold short for runway 27 left. Beautiful scenery again by Thai models, highly recommended. All right, we're going to bring the aircraft to a stop here and configure it for departure. Runway, the landing lights and runway turn-off lights are all on. And we need our strobe lights. Beacons are already on. We'll leave the nav lights off. And we're going to turn on the auto throttle. And we are pretty much ready to go. Right, parking brake is released. And off we go. What do you guys think? X-Plane 12.2. It looks just gorgeous, guys. Wow. The sounds are pretty good, huh? For freeware aircraft. All right. So we are lining up runway 27 left. Alrighty. We are cleared for takeoff. And toga. V1. And rotate.
V1.
Strong weather there. Come on. There we go. And 1,000 feet. Autopilot 1 engaged. What do you guys think of that? Oh yeah. Wow, the sounds are really, really good. All right, let's take the flaps 1 notch up. Flaps 5. Ah, we forgot our TCAS. There we go. All right, and we're going to go to flaps up. There we go. Flaps up. Gotta love the wing condensation there. All right, and we're going to go to 40 nautical miles here for the range. Everything's looking good. 6,000, we can go to altimeter to standard. Standard altimeter set. So far, so good on the climb. The VNAV and LNAV are working exactly as they should at this point. Those clouds are looking gorgeous. Look at that, guys. Wow. Wow, beautiful clouds. All right, 10,000 and landing lights off, runway turn off lights off. And we're gonna put the fasten seatbelt signs on auto.
10,000.
Things are looking fantastic. Tell you guys, if you like the 747 and you're a bit on a budget and you don't really want to spend any money on a payware aircraft, this aircraft is totally enjoyable. It's not steady level again, but it is very much a fun experience, and it gives you a glimpse of the experience flying the old Queen of the Sky. And put this here, and the gear is now off, and the after takeoff checklist is complete. Brilliant. Really hope they do a Max 9 also. We don't have one for any sim. Huh. The sounds are definitely amazing, yes. Absolutely. Very, very nice sounds. Overall, a very good work from the guys over at Sparky. So again, I don't know any of them personally, but I hope that they come and watch the stream, and I really want to thank them very much for the hard work. I always like to promote, developers, whether, developing payware or freeware, but specifically when a good freeware product is available for the community to enjoy, I'd like to highlight it and bring it to, bring it to the channel here, showcase it so everyone can benefit. Now, the one thing I've noticed during the approach is the auto throttle. Now, when you disconnect the auto throttle from here, it goes to maximum power for some reason, and I wasn't able to bring it back. So my recommendation is do not disengage the auto throttle. When the aircraft touches down, it will automatically bring the throttles back, and you'll be able to engage the reversers. Then you can turn off the auto throttle, but leave it on during your approach and landing. Right, everything here is set. Everything here is good. All is good here. Perfect. Some bad weather along the way. I'm not sure if the weather being injected into X-Plane is accurate or not, but it looks like we're going to pass by this thunderstorm there. Does anyone know whether Hotstart is still working on an A200? I don't know. That I don't know. And then we have the confirmation here that yes, they are. That's perfect. ISO G747 is at version 4 already. Yes, it is. What button is mapped to Toga? So, the Toga, I don't have a button mapped to Toga, but if you go to your throttle here, let me show you. So here are your Toga buttons. Those little two buttons are the Toga buttons, and this is true to life. So the 747, the 777, all have the Toga button here. So if you click these, it will set Toga power. And it is modeled and fully functional on this 747. Right, I think maybe the sounds are a bit too loud, so let me reduce the sounds a little bit here in the interior. Maybe that's better. There we go. And there's your top of climb. Again, I found that the LNAV and VNAV work very, very well on this aircraft. So you shouldn't have any problems with this latest update. It should work just fine. Again, we're getting the crazy X-Plane rain now. There you go. Beautiful sight, nonetheless. You gotta love the Queen of the Skies. Very iconic aircraft. The sounds are really, really good. Really, really good. Yeah. All right, 24 for 33,000. We're looking good. Climbing in, no problems whatsoever so far with LNAV and VNAV. Of course, we're going to be taking a look at the approach again and landing into Munich, and we'll see how the aircraft behaves. I've done a flight from San Francisco, from Seattle to Sacramento earlier to test the mod, and it works perfectly well. So no issues there whatsoever. Still, you can see there are some artifacts in X-Plane, but look at those clouds now. Huge improvement in this version of X-Plane, and things are starting to look very promising now for X-Plane. Does the mod have a freighter version? Yes, it does, and you can set this up from the from the menu, as I've shown in the beginning of the stream. So yeah, and there are several liveries that you can choose. So if you go, let me show you very quickly here. If you go to customize here, and you have all these liveries: Global, Supertanker, you've got the KLM, Boeing House, British Airways, Metal, Northwest, Qantas. You know, all of these liveries are available for you in the 74-400 by Sparky. Based on their Discord chat, the new version of the SSG 747 will be released as a public beta during this summer. Oh, cool. All right, looks like we're going through some clouds here. And let's see here. Let's turn on the engine anti-ice as we go through the clouds, just to make sure. And we'll turn them back off as soon as we are cleared. The last thing you want, again, is icing or ice forming on the wings. I have done, by the way, a test flight on the 777-200ER from PMDG. I've done a couple of flights earlier this morning, short ones, but sufficient to test it out. It is PMDG after all, and the quality of PMDG aircraft is always up there. But I was constantly comparing the aircraft to the flight factor 777 for X-Plane. And in a lot of ways, I prefer the flight factor model, both in terms of the operations and the physics of the aircraft. Although I have to say the PMDG 777 flies very well. In fact, probably my absolute favorite in terms of hand flying for Microsoft flights in 2024. Again, the depth of system simulation is very good. So very detailed aircraft in terms of systems, but it does not match up to the flight factor one, with the exception, of course, of the alternate airports, which I hope flight factor would bring. That's the only point that I have found the PMDG 777-200ER to be better than the flight factor version. But other than that, I found that the flight factor experience is a lot more authentic than that of the PMDG aircraft. Both are great. Again, the PMDG is again known for their quality work, so the aircraft is beautiful visually, and again the system simulation is the highest order. But yeah, I guess I got also used to the flight factor one, and having to connect the ground power, ground radio, ground crew, and talking to the PA, and just going through that full experience. They are using some type-rated 737 MAX pilots on this project, which is very cool. I had to stick with X-Plane Q8. I didn't find this the best user-friendly at all. It is not. It is not user-friendly. and it's got a lot of, 2024 has got a lot of issues still that needs fixing. And so it is a bit of a put-off, especially when loading airports and things like that. So, yeah. Hello there, Juan Cag. Hello everyone, I have been using MSFS since the first release, but I really love the cloud rendering, especially cumulus clouds. In recent X-Plane 12 beta, I really consider getting X-Plane 2. You will not regret getting X-Plane, that's for sure. Here's again a look at the beautiful engines of the 747. Now I think you can see the colors a little bit more clearly of the cockpit now that we are in direct sunlight. Right. If we go down here and go to the progress page, we can see that the top of descent is in about 255 nautical miles. There we go. We are at 33,000 feet, and things are looking fantastic. Again, notice the LNAV and VNAV. The climb was perfect, and we can see, this is, by the way, I don't think this is right. The readings up there are not right. But the LNAV and VNAV operation has been significantly improved from the previous version, and this aircraft now flies without problems, at least for takeoff, climb, and cruise. We're going to take a look at the descent as well shortly, and of course the landing over at Munich. I've heard a lot of good stuff about Sim Update 2 for 2024, so I'm very excited about that and really can't wait for it to release. It brings a host of improvements, fixes, and stability to the sim. And on a separate matter, if you guys are interested in study-level general aviation single-piston engine for X-Plane 12, now is the time, because the SR22 and SR20 Integra by TorqueSim is available at the X Aviation store for 50% off. Those are expensive aircraft. They're expensive for as a general aviation aircraft. So 50% off is a real steal. So head over to X Aviation and get those aircraft if you like general aviation, and if you really, really want study level simulation of the SR22, then now is your chance. Have you considered fixing the crossfeed config? I really don't know what is the problem with the crossfeed config. If you put in the XFeed fuel here, you'll get the override message. If you remove that, and let's say you add the override here and here, then that doesn't fix it. So I really am not sure why is this, why do we have this here? Jonathan says, I gave up on the Sparky. Fuel on and override. All right, let's try that. So if we go XFeed and override, and whoo, wow, voila, perfect. Thank you very much. I don't think, I think, Jonathan, if you go and download the latest version of the Sparky now, like the one that was released on the 27th of April, I think you will have a very enjoyable experience flying the Sparky 747. Again, a great mod, excellent sound, so far so good on LNAV, VNAV, takeoff, climb, the setup, very simple. I don't see why you wouldn't enjoy it at this point in time. Can you show the ECS page on the eCam? So if we look here, right, so we have the, engine is not there, stats, electrical, fuel, ECS, we do have this ECS, got the pack controls. This is all properly showing what it's supposed to show. Yep, you've got your engine bleeds there, pack controls. And then if we go to the hydraulics page, you've got your hydraulics, door page, and the gear. So yeah, you've got all your pages there simulated. I have not tried the latest version. Thank you, I'll check it out. Jonathan, you will not regret it. Sean Hamid, Q8, Sparky or Salty 747 from MSFS. Definitely the Sparky for X-Plane is much, much better. I'm curious why you left the nav lights off. Well, normally you don't turn them on unless it's nighttime. I think it's the standard procedure on the Boeing 777 and the 747. So, your wish is my command. There you go. Nav lights are on. Q8, will you fly the Kalimata Concorde? Yes, for sure. I have that planned. And we will fly the Kalimata. Probably will do, you know, one of the classical routes, maybe London Heathrow to JFK or vice versa. Oh, we had them earlier on because we were going through some clouds, and so we've turned them on, and I think I forgot to turn them off, so thanks for reminding me. Appreciate that. I thought they were always on. No, we turned them on for the, when we were going through the clouds. Yeah, this version of X-Plane is really good. I can't wait for the next beta and hopefully more improvements for the clouds. Though, if you look at the weather in, here, let me just I think the weather wasn't correct at, because if you look here, let me go to the weather at Charles de Gaulle. And let's take a look here. All right, so few clouds, scattered clouds. Yeah, definitely no thunderstorms. So I'm not sure why we were getting all that rain. So maybe the weather, the real-time weather download from X-Plane isn't that accurate. But everything else seems to work exactly as it should. Why is it saying it's unable? Let's take a quick look here at our flight plan. All right, so 13,000 below. It says it's unable. Well, I think we can fix that. Not an issue. Final fix. Runway 26 left. I think we'll be able to fix that. So no worries there. There you go. Here's an external view of the 747 by Sparky. And the beautiful clouds here in X-Plane 12.2. Things are looking good. Wow, look at this scene here. Screenshot material right there for you. This is looking really good, guys, I have to say. I like the contrails in X-Plane as well. I think they're done very well. There we go. PMDG wants to be a monopoly like Microsoft is trying to do. Huh. That's an interesting thought right there. I absolutely love the fact that you have to actually dodge cumulus buildups to avoid heavy turbulence. Did a quick test flight in X-Plane demo and loved the weather rendering. And yes, so the weather in X-Plane is more believable. It is, so when you go, there is, for example, wind shear, wake turbulence, those things are done very well in X-Plane. So yeah, definitely I hear you there. Look at this scene here as we make the turn. What a beautiful sight of the Queen. Yeah, very, very nice indeed. You know, folks, I almost canceled the stream today. I was having a migraine headache earlier this morning. I normally get those at the beginning of summer when the temperatures here rise in Kuwait. My eyes are very sensitive to light as well, and the sun was very bright this morning. So I came home, turned off all the lights, I stayed in a dark room for a while, and took a couple of Panadol tablets, and I was okay in time for the stream. So I'm very glad that things worked out in the end. DA62 would be a nice VFR flight. Yeah, definitely. The DA62 by Real Sim Gear, Doug, is that what you're referring to? Can you send me the link in case? Yeah, I think you can do that just by typing !Discord. There you go. Stan has it ready. Thank you very much, Stan. Appreciate it. Oh, migraine not pleasant. How's that from time to time? Yeah. Thank you very much, my friend. Yeah, they're really bad. They're really bad. When they hit, they come without without introduction. It's just there. So, yeah. So, what I have been seeing lately is a lot of folks still flying in Microsoft Flight Sim 2020, and the 2024 platform, the adoption of that from both the community and the developers has been very, very slow. So again, a major blow for Microsoft and Asobo for 2024. It's been a disastrous release, and a lot of the promises made were broken as far as backward compatibility and how the sim is going to surpass 2020 in every respect, including flight model and physics and things like that. It's just been a very difficult time, I think, for the guys over at Sobo and Microsoft. They are enjoying the cash, though, from all the people that bought it. On A330 Tollus with Mango Pack sounds very immersive, also using Pilot to ATC, very nice option for who doesn't like flying online. Yeah, definitely. I would also highly recommend Say Intentions as an alternative to online ATC such as VATSIM. It is AI traffic, AI ATC, dynamic, unscripted, and totally awesome. If you like to interact with ATC, definitely Say Intentions is a great product. I still haven't bought either 2020 or 2024. Oh, wow. I gave up on 2020. You know, John, I actually enjoyed 2020 in a lot of ways. It was a very pleasant experience, especially when flying VFR. So I really enjoyed 2020. I like 2024, but it's not as good as 2020 in all respects. I think 2020 was a lot easier to configure. I think the scenery was a lot better. The colors weren't that good in 2020, so that's the only part that I like more in 2024 than in 2020. But yeah, the thing is, one of the things I like about X-Plane is how user-friendly the interface is and how it's like set and forget. And once you do it, you know, that's it. The ease of use in X-Plane is something I really like, especially when it comes to configuring your hardware, configuring the response curves. The setting up of profiles in X-Plane is just, it's absolutely brilliant. Whoever has done the profiles in X-Plane, it must be a genius, and someone who understands, you know, user experience. So, yeah, I definitely prefer the way you set things up in X-Plane, where you have again a visual representation of everything, and it's far easier to create new profiles, assign them to aircraft. It's just really, really cool. And here's another look here at the outside with our beautiful Air France 747-400 heading over to Munich. Look at the contrails there. All right, let's take a quick look here and see where we are. If we go to progress page, we are 135 nautical miles, so we're not that far now. I'm going to come here to approach. Now, this is all, that's okay. You can forget that, but we are going to put flaps 30, and we're going to do 147, and that's all you need to do. And we'll worry about the descent a little later. About 135 nautical miles, so not too long now before we begin the descent into Munich. Is this slow motion flyby X camera? No. This is shift and number 1 is the slow, and shift number 2 is the faster flyby. Let me show you guys. Shift and 1. This is the slower cinematic flyby, which I really like, by the way, especially when the aircraft is banking to either the left or right. And those clouds are looking phenomenal. And this is shift and 2. So this is more of the faster flyby. There you go. The shift one looks amazing when you zoom in while turning. Yes, it does. It looks really, really good. And this is out of the box. It exists out of the box. Now, one thing you can do if you like, let me show you here real quick. I'm going to go to the outside. Okay, let me zoom out. Now, this is X camera, okay? So, in X camera, you have something called the cinematic. So now, this is now, what you're seeing now is X camera. So this is now X camera. As you can see here, I am panning around the aircraft slowly with X camera, and you can create additional animations if you like. So here, let me bring this back, go back in, and if you go to X camera, and let's go to the control panel. Now, in the category, you'll see that you have a create flyby, and you have also create orbit. I'm going to say create flyby, and I'm going to call it flyby 1. Okay. Now you can configure the flyby in exactly the way you like. So this is the camera attack heading, the initial height in meters, 25. The distance, CPA, I'm not sure what CPA is, but it configures the actual tilt of the camera for you, and the duration in seconds. So this is 30 seconds. So I'm going to increase this maybe to, let's say, let's make it, how about we make it 40 seconds, okay? So let me make this 40 seconds, and we're going to say create, okay? Now if I click on flyby and remove that, now this is a flyby, but this is a different angle. And you can see how the camera very slowly is moving, and it will take 40 seconds exactly to complete this flyby. And it's coming just directly to the aircraft. Now you can configure the heading of the camera to be different. Right, so there you go. So that's a flyby using X camera. Okay. And now we can come back here to X camera. Let me just show you a little bit of a different configuration. So if we go to the flyby camera, and now I'm going to, I think you can't edit the values. So I'm going to delete this one, and we're going to create another flyby camera. And now I'm going to change the heading to, let's see here. We'll do 180. Initial heights in meters, we'll leave that. Distance in meters, yeah, we can leave that. Let me change this a little bit. And we're going to say create and flyby. Now you can see the direction of the camera is different. So
Camera
I'm
is
say
saved.
save. And I'm going to exit here. And now this is a different flyby using X camera. And again, 40 seconds, so it will complete in 40 seconds. But this is how you can create those beautiful cinematics with X camera, a program that I highly recommend for X-Plane. Again, this is a beautiful flyby. Again, it doesn't take very long. You just configure the camera the way you like, and you're pretty much good to go there. And of course, it will repeat continuously there. If you leave it. So every 40 seconds, it would repeat exactly the same animation that we've just created. Very, very cool. Now, the other thing that you can do with X camera is you can create the orbit. And again, we're just going to call this anything test. Okay. So again, the initial camera heading with the orbit can be exactly the same. You can configure it exactly the same way. So we're going to actually bring this down to, let's see here, 185 radius. Now this is important. So I'm going to increase the radius to 19 and reverse rotation, no, continuous, level the camera, use level camera. Let's create that and let's go to test one and remove that. And now you have an orbit created here around the aircraft with the parameters that you've created. Now you can play with this and move it away so that you get a nicer view of the aircraft. But yeah, this is again something else that you can do with the X camera, which is pretty cool in my view. Right. Back in the cockpit and the progress page, we are 80 nautical miles from top of descent. Let's get our platform altitude over at Munich, runway 26 left. So approach and 26 left is here, 5,000 feet. We are going to reset the MCP altitude to 5,000 feet. Right, 5,000 is set, and at the top of descent, if I put this here, we can see top of descent right there. You can see it here. So again, the top of descent, top of climb calculations are done very well in this version of Sparky. This one doesn't work. Position doesn't work. Terrain, I know, works. Airports work. Waypoint works. And this one works. Okay. We'll leave this currently on weather. And we can put the traffic as well. So everything else is set up correctly. All right. I presume this only available in the latest beta version. Didn't find the flyby and orbit settings in the current 2.4. They are definitely there. They've been there since day one. So just make sure that you go to, let me see here. Just make sure that when you go to X camera, where is X camera? There you go. Okay, so You have to have the registered version for those to work. Okay, but they're under category, but they've been there forever. They've always been there. So yeah, I'm going to delete those. So, oh, it's all right. You can, by the way, use a solid background, which makes things a lot better. Very, very nice program. It's got a lot of features. You can show also the advanced camera features here. So you have the pitch, you have the X-Plane 9 chase view, the free camera, level camera, Cineflex camera, circle view, all of this. I've shown you how to create. You can actually perform a cinematic to do a walk around. And the way you do this is you have to create multiple scenes at every position of the aircraft, and then you enable auto move. Let me show you. So there's an option here. It says when you create, allow camera auto advance. So when you create here, so this one is not currently enabled. But if I enable it and run the animation, it would actually go automatically from one view to the other. Obviously, I don't want this right now while we're flying, but you can create it and set the auto advance, and it will automatically go from the first scene to the second scene, and thus you can create a beautiful walk-around feature for any aircraft. Here's stop and descent. We're almost now at Munich. We're looking good. Well, yes. That's a nice way of putting it, Alex. Yeah, that's a nice way of putting it. Well, I will read the manual again. I know for a fact. By the way, you can also create airport cameras. X camera is a very, very powerful tool, especially for content creators. You can set target cameras, and then you can. For example, let's say that you want to film a helicopter taking off from a rig. What you can do is you can set the helicopter as a target camera, and then you can sit on the rig and just point the camera upwards, and that's how you can see like the helicopter moving upwards, taking off, and it creates for some very, very beautiful cinematics. It takes a little bit of learning. I've done a lot of tutorials on X camera, at least the basic operation of X camera. So be sure to search Q8 Pilot X camera on YouTube, and you'll be able to find them. Those are from my very, very early videos, but they still pretty much apply because X camera only added features, but the main features worked in exactly the same way, and nothing has really changed. Only improvements came about, and the product today, I think, is by far the very best camera program that I've seen. I haven't yet tested the Parallel 42 chase camera, which I'm really dying to try out in 2024. But this one is better. By the way, X camera does not add any effects. So it doesn't add the shaking or anything like that. You'll need either head shake or XP Realistic. It supports all of them. So if you go to X camera here, and you'll see that, for example, in pilot view, you can see here the effect. Let me remove this here so it's not cluttered. So you have here XP Realistic. So this is the effects that I'm using, but it uses. You can turn it off. You can use head shake, XP Realistic, Real View, or there's a Lewis script as well. So it works with any of these for the shaking of the camera. So yeah, very, very brilliant program for X-Plane. It's one of the best plugins that you can. If you have X-Plane, you have got to have X camera. Take care, John. Have a lovely day, my friend. Spa Wing Salmon, welcome aboard, my friend. Glad to have you here. All right. We are almost now at top of descent, guys. And if we look at our progress page here, progress. So we are 25 nautical miles from top of descent. I am tempted to go to our flight plan here real quick. And I'm going to go to the legs page and step through. All right, so yeah, some funny stuff looking there, but I think we should be fine. All right. So map. Right here's top of descent, and we'll begin descent shortly. Again, the clouds are looking nice. The sun is looking beautiful. And this Sparky 747 is truly, truly impressive. Being a freeware aircraft, it is impressive, I have to say. And I give a lot of thanks, a lot of appreciation and commendation to the guys over at Sparky for developing it for the community and being committed to it. They haven't really abandoned the project. And so now we have a version that works with the very latest version of X-Plane 12.2. And hopefully they continue to work on updating this mod, because I think it is truly a wonderful 747 experience for flight sim, without really having to pay anything. And so, yeah. Can you please show us your graphics settings? Oh, that's not a problem. I can show you that. I've shown them many times before, but here they are. So I've got everything here maxed, robust contrast 0, anisotropic filtering 16, MSAA 4, maximum for cloud, shadow, high for world object density, maximum for vegetation, rendering distance is high, draw boats and balloons is on, and enable 3D vegetation is on, and I have my FOV set to 75. And that's all my settings there for you. Do you know any good tutorials? I know the 737-57 already, but can't figure out the 747 yet. Well, you can watch this stream if you want and fly the Sparky. They are planning to develop a new model for the 747. Diamond HD, welcome aboard. Right, almost at top of descent. Let's set this to 40 nautical miles now. And yeah. There's one thing I've noticed in this 747 and in the SSG. You see this line here, and then there's another line there, and the wing kind of curves. I'm not sure if this is true to life though, but I've seen it on the SSG as well. Nice detailing on the wing. It could use some work, by the way, but you know, it's freeware, we can't complain, but it looks okay. It looks okay. Could be improved. I think maybe someone with all right, so here is top of descent. We've arrived at top of descent exactly, and the aircraft has begun the automatic descent. So exactly as it should, and this is exactly what we expect it to do. So far, so good. At exactly the top of descent, the aircraft has begun the descent, and so far we can say that the initial setup of the aircraft, taxi, takeoff, climb, cruise, initial descent work exactly as they should, without a hitch. So, yeah, very good. When I want to learn the 747, I might just rewatch the stages of flight where I can learn things of the screen. Yeah, absolutely. No worries at all, Sergio. Hey, Aviation with Elliot. How are you doing, my friend? Hello, Eric. Welcome, my friend. Glad to have you with us here. All right, let's do this cinematic flyby here. And look at the beautiful sky color. Wow. I think the sound's maybe a little too low. All right, very nice. All right. Let's come over here. We're going to set the auto brake to number 2. There we go. And at 10,000, we'll worry about the passenger signs. I really like the interior of the aircraft. The lighting is done very well. As you can see here. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Mike, how are you doing, my friend? Has a recent update, like 2025 date or something? Mike, yes. This is the latest version of the Sparky 747. It is specifically updated for the new version of X-Plane 12.2. It's a major overhaul. If you type !aircraft, you'll get the link to Sparky 747 on the X-Plane org forum, where all the details are listed there, all the changes are listed there, and also the link to the GitHub site is available as well over there, where you can download the aircraft and test it out yourself. I think it's !aircraft, if I'm not mistaken. I'm sorry if I said airplane. !aircraft, and it will give you the link to the Sparky 747, where you can download it and also take a look at the details. Because last time I tried to fly it, IRS don't align, and other bugs. Yeah. There you go, Sparky 747. You've got the link there. Just click there, and it will take you to the aircraft download page, where you'll be able to download it and also take a quick look at the changes. Yes, the iris will align now. I can assure you that we've had no problems. This is now my 3rd flight in the Sparky. So no issues. I've flown in the US, in Europe, and I've also done a flight from OERK, that would be Riyadh in Saudi Arabia, to Dubai, and it's got a really nice Saudia livery as well. So far no problems whatsoever, really. So I highly recommend that you download it, and it's a lot of fun. Let's take a look here. Thrust limit, right, and the approach. We don't need anything there. Everything here is good. Everything here is good. All right, let's take a look. VNav, climb. Next page. Next page. All right, so we're just looking out for speed transition is 240. All right, perfect. All right, 1299. We're still looking good. We perhaps are a bit too high. 24.5, that's 15, about 45 nautical miles. That we've got 35, 40. We should be fine. We should be fine. could use the speed brake to increase our rate of descent. A little bit. Check out those clouds, guys. The sky color is truly, truly very well done now. All right. So far, so good. Does it have the option to use the reverse tool? Yes, it does. I flew with the aircraft about a month ago, and the flight was horrible. Was there a new update? Yes, sir. Positive rate. There was an update on the 27th of April that brings this aircraft to full compatibility with X-Plane 12.2. Right, looking good. 16,000. So about 10,000 feet to go or so. All right, we're looking good, and yeah, I'm just going to keep it there. All right, those clouds are looking nice. Sky colors are phenomenal in this version of X-Plane, I have to say. Very, very nice indeed. And X-Plane is really starting to look great. And hopefully we can see a little bit more adoption of X-Plane as it starts to look phenomenal. Alright, we're going to keep an eye on the... I think I am tempted to go vertical speed. And let's see here. I want to go to 2,500 feet per minute. All 24 is fine. And I want to reduce our speed to 240 knots. There we go. Right, looking good here. And yeah, I think we should be fine. All right, let's grab our altimeter real quick here, and the altimeter 1008. Let's slow down the aircraft a little bit. Right, looking good. 240. Right, 10,000 feet, and landing lights coming on. And we're coming down here. Fasten seat belt, non-smoking signs are both on. 5,000 feet to go. And we can go to manage speed, but we'll leave it for now. As we make the turn, 5,000 feet should be just fine. And yeah, everything's looking good. This only works with the beta. It works with X-Plane 12.2. So hopefully it will work with the later versions of X-Plane. Right, looking good. And at this point, I'm going to reduce our speed to 190 knots. Right, there we go, 190. And we can reduce the rate of descent now to 1,800 feet per minute. Okay, we can go to LNAV. We'll leave it there. 217 it says. And I'm going to bring down our flaps to flaps, let's see, flaps 5. .190 should be at the next. Flaps 5 is fine. And we continue the descent to 5,000. We're looking good. So far, everything has worked exactly as it should. In terms of the VNAV, LNAV, the top of the climb, top of descent, climb, descent. Yeah, so far everything works just fine. So we'll leave the flaps at flaps 5 as we make the turn, and we're targeting 5,000 feet. That's our platform altitude, and then the aircraft will begin. Okay, we have captured the localizer, I believe, so we're going to go to approach. There is 5,000 feet. Excellent. Down to 200 knots. Let's take a look at our approach here, and we need to set the altimeter real quick as well. So 147, 139, yeah, it's a bit less than that. So 139, that's 144. So 30 and 144. Okay. And we want to check out the altimeter here real quick. Altimeter is 1008. So we're going to click here, and 1008 is now set. Same thing on the first officer's side. 1008 is now set. Excellent. Right, 190. All right. And we are almost there now, folks. We'll begin configuring the aircraft for the final approach. Once we see the glide slope needle starting to move, right there, we can see it starting to move now. Brilliant. Barrow disagree. Why? 1008 and 1008. Well, definitely is not a problem there. Okay, so now we can go to flaps 10. Glide slope active. Let's go ahead and lower the landing gear.
Positive rate.
No, not positive rate. Right, and let's take the speed down to 160 knots. And speed check, flaps 15. We still don't have a visual, but we should see the runway momentarily. I think I can see the beginning of the runway now. Right, final speed was 144, I believe. 144. Okay, I'm going to go to 144.
2,500.
All right, and speed check flaps 25. Let's arm the speed brake. And speed brake armed. Perfect. Speed check, flaps 30. Look at that, guys. Wow. This looks sensational. That's what I'm talking about. When I told you about the flaps, when they're down, they look just gorgeous. They look really, really good. All right, we're a tad too high, but we'll let the aircraft do its thing, and maybe it'll correct itself in a little bit here. Now, again, just remember, guys, when you are flying the aircraft, do not disengage the auto throttle, because it will kind of push this to maximum power for some reason. So just keep it there. Land 3 is activated, so we can practically do an auto land now, but that's no fun. So we are going to disconnect the autopilot in just a little bit here and hand fly the approach into Munich. Into Munich. All right. We have everything set here, so I'm going to disconnect the autopilot at this point, and I want to hand fly the aircraft, my aircraft.
1,000.
Lovely, lovely to hand fly this Sparky 747. Just a little bit of wind there, nothing too serious.
500.
As we approach Munich.
400. 300. 200. 100.
Glide slope.
Approaching minimums. 50.
Glide.
40. 30. 20. 10.
Speed brakes up.
All right, and reversers. 80 knots.
80 knots. Reversers.
All right. We've made it safely to Munich. And I don't know how good that landing was, but let's take a look. Please don't crash. Please. X-plane, please. Thank you.
Approaching minimums.
Glide slow.
I don't think we flared, did we? All right, there we go. Wow, look at that, guys. Wow, that was pretty cool, wasn't it? What do you guys think? Always a pleasure landing the Queen of the Skies. Here is a tower view. Let's take a look at that. X-plane is truly looking amazing. Wow. Very cool, huh? And there's the reversers. You can see the speed brakes deployed. So everything really has worked exactly as it should on this flight. Perfect. Just everything was really perfect. Yeah. Gotta love X-plane, guys. All right, we're gonna do it one more time with the wing view. So there we go, and wing view. Where's the wing view? Come on.
Glide slope.
100.
Glide slope.
I lost my wing
Approaching
view.
minimums.
There we go. Wow, look at that. The brakes are so hot. Did you see that? Look at that, guys. Wow, the brakes are too hot. That's pretty cool. That's, by the way, an X-plane feature. That's very, very cool. All right. All right. Let's clean up, crack the flaps, and speed brake, retracted. Landing lights off. Taxi lights on. Runway turn-off lights off. Strobes are off. All right. Brake temperature. The aircraft doesn't want to move now. It does not want to move. Wow, look at that, guys. Yeah, well, it's not gonna move. brakes are very hot. I don't know if that's from the replay or something that we've done, but it's cool anyway. All right, we'll just bring it to a stop here since the brakes are hot. So we'll just go straight and park it right there. We'll park at the cargo area. The marshaller is there. I think they already know of this emergency, so yeah, let's just bring it there. Yeah, it's the brakes are just way too hot. That's pretty cool. The aircraft doesn't want to move. And if you give it full power, then all right, let's see. It's just you have to put full throttle in order for the aircraft to move. So right there. Okay, there we go. Okay, so parking brake is set. We can bringing the chocks will probably cool down the. That's pretty cool, man. Look at that. Very, very nice. And you notice that there are no brake pads on the front, so the front doesn't overheat. The brakes are on only on the rear, so that's also simulated properly in X-Plane. By the way, this is not a feature of the aircraft. Okay, we can bring up the APU. So let's start the APU here real quick. And what we'll do is we can come to the menu here. So if we go to, let's see here, ground handling and request chocks, ground services, we can now release the parking brake. Request ground services. Okay, we have the ground power. Excellent. If we come back here, available and available. Let me turn off the engines. Taxi lights off. Beacon lights off. All right. Yeah, once you put it looks like they are cooling off. By the way, if you guys look here, there is still one. I could see that one of the tires were still hot, but now they're all cooling off because now we have the chocks. I don't know why the aircraft sinks into the ground a little bit. That's an issue I thought Laminar has fixed, but looks like not yet. Yeah. Right, so we are unable to bring the power here, and maybe just we'll wait for the engines to. We've turned off all the engines. Yeah, the night lighting seems to be a little off here, as you can see, but that's all right. But overall, a very, very enjoyable flight and lots of fun. It was definitely everything that we've done, I think, has worked exactly according to our expectations. So nothing really off the ordinary. The preparation, so the setup of the aircraft, the initial startup, taxi, takeoff, climb, cruise, descent, approach, landing has all worked exactly as it should. We've had no issues there whatsoever. The aircraft behaves exactly as it should. And it was a very, very enjoyable flight on this freeware mod, Sparky 747. And I hope that you guys enjoyed this stream as much as I enjoyed streaming it for you. It's been definitely a lot of fun. Really enjoyed the interaction with all of you guys. And I will see you guys again this coming Tuesday. We are going to be taking a look at the PMDG 777-200ER for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. But until then, please take care of yourselves and each other. And I will see you all very soon. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and have a lovely day. Bye-bye for now.